What is happening, guys? In this video we're getting ready to upgrade the tires for the tow rig. Does it need new tires? Well, that's debatable. Do I want new tires? Yes. Oh! They're technically an all-terrain. They do really well on the road and they are super quiet, so why replace them? Well, one of the issues I have with these tires is they don't do so hot in the snow. So once you have anything that is requiring a little bit more grip out of the tire, same thing off-road. Like, we've been on some really easy like trails. They're more like fire roads that have snow or some loose rocks on them. One time we pretty much rock crawled the tow rig, which was not my intention, and the tires, they're just really not set up for that. They're more set up for towing big payloads and a trailer. But I definitely want to go up a little bit in tire size. Going from a 33 to a 35 will net us about a 1-inch ground clearance, which will help us out with our rear diff and with all of that low-hanging fruit under this long wheelbase. Another thing is it's going to give us a tire that's a little bit wider, is more ground contact, which I think can be helpful in this. And then also I think going to a different tire is also just going to help us get a better ride in the truck. These are all hypotheticals right now, but I found a pretty good deal on an entry-level tire, so definitely not like the best mud terrain, but it is a mud terrain. And before we go any further, why don't we check out these two tires? We'll compare the stock Michelin tires on this versus these Ironman MTs. So here is the tire that comes stock on these trucks. It's the Michelin LTX AT2. So this is an all-season, technically an all-terrain tire. They put this on all kinds of vehicles. They even put this on like EVs, light-duty trucks, heavy-duty trucks. It's been a really great tire for us on the 3500. It's actually a pretty heavy-duty tire. It's a 10-ply tire. The tread depth is 12/30 seconds. It's designed to be put on an 8.5-inch wheel. The tire diameter comes out to just over 33 inches, which is pretty big for a stock truck in my opinion. Comes in at 53 pounds. Overall is just a really great tire, really well rated tire. And you can see the price is about $311 for the 275/70 18. And now we cross over to the Ironman All Country MT. So this tire caught my eye when I first saw it because it kind of looks like a mix of two other tires. It looks like a Nitto on the side. When you zoom in on these side lugs right here, it kind of looks like the Nitto Trail Grappler just on the side there. And then the tread pattern itself is kind of a mix between a BFG mud terrain and the Yokohama Geolander. I think it's the XAT. I think it's an awesome looking tread pattern. You can see it's got a little bit of siping in there, and it's also has some holes drilled so you can put the studs in there if the area that you live would require that. Let's scroll down and let's compare it to the stock tire here. So this is 35 as it's advertised, but you can see it actually comes in at just under a 35-inch. It's about 5.5 pounds heavier than the stock tire. And this one is ply rating F, and I believe, let's see the ply rating here.
What this road force machine does is it applies a drum. You're going to see it in a sec. So this is balance. Balance is basically, any shop can do a balance. You put on weights. If the machine is calibrated, it'll be accurate. The drum applies pressure onto the tire. It measures for any out of round spots on the tire, stiff spots and soft spots on the tire. As they're manufactured, sometimes there will be stiff spots and soft spots, and the drum measures for that. The camera will scan the inside of the rim and the outside of the rim. There's a camera here and a camera here, and it measures high spots and low spots on the rim. And what this machine will do is tell me which point in the tire can be aligned with which point of the rim to make the stiff spot on the tire align with the low spot on the rim, equating in a perfectly round assembly, or near perfect. In this case, there really isn't much we can do. The rim low spot is very close to the stiff spot on the tire already. So this is our rim, fairly on point, and this is our tire. The tire has stiff spots and soft spots. We sometimes will rotate the tire on the rim to get it better. In most cases, this machine will tell us to put this assembly on the rear of the vehicle. Being that it's in rear-wheel drive, the tire will wear down and get better. At the front of the vehicle, you'll notice the most vibrations, and it won't get better at the front because primarily this is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. So this belongs on the rear. Usually 2 will be better, 2 will be worse. Sometimes all 4 are bad, sometimes all 4 are good.
Okay.
So we go as we go and figure it out.
So you just mean for the first rotation, or up to the first rotation, you want?
First rotation, yeah.
Okay.
This is where we want it, and our machine will tell us this.
Oh, okay, great.
So.
Awesome. Thanks for explaining that. I actually learned a lot. And boom, there they are on the 3500. These tires look freaking awesome. We've got a super aggressive tread pattern on here. These are Method MR305 NVHD, so very critical to have the HD model when you're putting it on a 1-ton truck. Okay, so let's answer a few questions that people are gonna have about these. All right, so most people wanna know, is there road noise? That's like one of the first questions. Yes, there's road noise. There's a lot of road noise. Is it louder than the LTX Michelin? Yeah, for sure, because it's just such an aggressive tire. When you have this kind of void between each lug and there's not really a lug that's bridging the two, so you're getting that gap in there and then the sound off, yes, they hum. There's a lot of noise on there. You can expect that with pretty much any mud terrain. These are some of the loudest, but it doesn't faze me. I mean, I don't really hear it too much in the truck, and I've got the radio on, or, you know, the humming, it's probably just gonna put my kid to sleep anyways. No, they are loud. Okay, I'm not gonna beat around the bush there. One part that was important to me is the tread life, right? So tread life, it's a heavy truck. It's really weird. You get a lot of mixed reviews on these. People say they cup really bad. They only last them like 10,000 miles. But then on the flip side, you have people that have proof of the tread that wore very evenly, and they say they're getting like 55,000 miles out of it. I've heard several people say that. One commented directly on the Facebook group for these trucks saying they had these tires and they got 55,000 miles, and that was towing and everything. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens in my specific case. We do need to rotate these tires. At the shop there, the tech was saying it's not as much of a weight problem as it is road force, which is a term I hadn't really heard before, but it's talking about heavy spots and light spots on the tire versus low and high spots on the wheel. So the wheel, these Method wheels, high quality. We weren't expecting any real deviations with the wheel, but the tire itself does have some heavy and some light spots. So they counteract that with the wheel the best they can. And then what they do is they just stage them on the truck in different locations. So for the tire that was most out of whack, which was the one we actually had the video in the shop, that was the worst one. They put that furthest from the driver, so it's on the back passenger side. Then it would be the back driver's side, front right, front left. So they were telling me that's only gonna be a factor for the first, up to the first rotation. Just get them rotated with your normal oil change cycle. For this truck, it seems to be around like 7,500, something like that. Depends on if you're towing and all that, of course. The looks, the ride was fine. Don't have any complaints really. The first night I had them, it was raining. I towed a Suzuki Samurai on a flatbed trailer in the rain. I could barely see out of my freaking windshield, but the truck did great, so I have no complaints with the tires. All right, lastly, did they make my MPG go down in the truck? Yes, of course they did. It's a 35 1250 coming from basically a 33 and like a little bit over a 10-inch wide tire, I think. So there's just a lot more friction there, and the bigger diameter means that it takes more gas to push it down the road. So with this truck, this is a gas 3500, and I would say I lost about 2 miles per gallon, and then on just driving around empty, going 60 in both of these tests, 60 empty, I lost about 1.5 miles per gallon. But for me, that's fine. I would way rather have the ground clearance and the aggressive tread to help me get out of some nasty spots. Like I said, when I picked up that Samurai, it was raining, it was muddy. Glad I had these tires on for that. So is this the right tire for you? I don't know. What do you need to do with it? I mean, if I had a sponsorship from Ironman tires, I'd run them on everything. We'll see how these perform over the years. Hopefully I have them for years, and then we'll go from there. It's an entry-level mud terrain, so you can see if a mud terrain's right for your specific use, and if it's not, switch it up, maybe go an all-terrain. Ironman also makes an open country all-terrain, I think. I'm not exactly sure on the name, but yeah, there's so many options out there. This one was like $260 a tire for a 35. Any like real name brand tire is going to be almost 400. Most of them are over 400, so $1,000 for the set. It's pretty good if you ask me. Anyway, stay tuned for the update. Hopefully the next time you see these tires, they aren't all feathered out and, you know, cupping really bad. Hopefully they're just working great, and I have them for a long time. Put your questions down in the comment section if there's something you want to know more about. I'll hopefully have an update soon for you guys. Thanks for checking out this video. See you guys in the next one.